Okay, so where we're going here, I'm going to share something with you. How many people have seen this image? Who knows it? Right. So you would have seen that image on the entrance of pretty much every gompa you go into in Nepal. It's probably in the same in Tibet. But what you're looking at is the path to shamatha. And you'll find this image also in chapter 15 of Annie Karen's, just so it's easy for you to find, Lamrim outlines from Kopan. But so where we are, I don't know how well you can see. See, you've got down here 1, 2, and 3 with this monk. Can you see? Is it too small? Is that better? So there's 1, 2, and 3. So 1 and 2 are about hearing. So you first of all, in the first step towards shamatha, you hear the Dharma and you kind of get interested in meditation. And this is 3. This is mindfulness. This is the rope. So I'll just read you. Where's it gone? So there's a little bit of text that goes with this, and this is from the Essence of the Middle Way. And it says, master the elephant of the mind, step by step as follows. He wants to go the wrong way. Be sure to tie him to the stake of the object of your meditation with a strong rope, and that's mindfulness, made of bringing the mind back to your object. Then finally use the iron hook of your wisdom to take control, and that's the iron hook there, number 4, but we're not probably going to look at the iron hook. We're looking mainly at the rope. So this is what this whole, amazing, isn't it? Because all these 4 sessions that we're going to be doing are just about the rope. Well, not just about the rope, but so that indicates how important this is in terms of your meditation. So when we first start meditating, this is where we are. So here's me, or you, or anyone. This elephant represents the mind, and the monkey represents the distractions. So what you can see here is the monkey's leading the mind. And so this is why I love this little image, because all these different distractions, love interest, computer games, playing with the cat, looking at the phone, playing outside, eating, all of this stuff. This is how our mind is. Easily distracted, all these things, and we're happily distracted by all these things, right? And so this is the darkness in that image that you see, the stages of meditation, is our delusions. And they're very distracting, as Aaron was saying. So you see all of this aversion, jealousy, loving kindness, which I think is a bit strange, sensory desire, regret, malice, lust, anger, worry, suffering, doubt, greed, craving, ill will, dullness and sloth and fear and remorse and attachment and all of these things. There's some virtue in there as well. I guess loving kindness is virtue, and happiness. Then we have ignorance and false speech. So all of this stuff you could just keep going on forever, but all of it is all of these delusions that are in our mind that actually kind of don't allow us to concentrate. They're very, very distracting. So what we want to do is find some. Did I share this? Oh, I didn't share this. That's why you can't see it. Hang on 1 second. Let me just go back. I'm so sorry. I'm going to stop sharing this one. No wonder you were looking puzzled. We're going to start sharing this one. Uh-oh. Okay. Here we are. Okay, there we go. Does that make sense now? Wait, does that make sense now? Here we go. All right. I wonder why you were looking confused. All right. Sorry. So this is us. This is our mind, and this is the distractions. Our mind's easily led away by the monkey who's just full of wonderful distractions. And here we are just chasing after our mind. We're not in control here. We're kind of following after the mind. The monkey is leading the way, the mind is following, and we're just kind of doing our best to catch up. And the thing Lama Yeshe used to say is you do have the power. You do have control. And the thing is, we just have to take it back. So here's what the monkey gets up to. Playing with the cat, the computer game, desire, phone, playing. I mean, this is just us. I just love this cartoon because this is just any minute now, we're just like so happily distracted. Feeling a little bit depressed. Oh, I'll just go look at TikTok. And before you know what, you're down a TikTok hole that lasts about 3 hours. That's so naughty. So this is the image, as I said earlier, of the black in the various stages of meditation is our delusions. So all these different things, as I was saying. So the mind is made up of many different things. There's virtue and non-virtue in that image, as you can see. Okay. So let's go back to this image. And there's one more thing I wanted to just share with you in this image. And then we'll get on to, we are going to do a bit of meditation, and I'm going to do it the way FPMT wants to do it. Share. Okay. So you'll see there's a rabbit here that appears. So you can see here that, the monkey's leading the mind and we're following madly after, still following madly after, swinging this little rope here of mindfulness. And then you'll start to see the white, it just kind of as everything starts to calm down, still not paying any attention. And you get up here and look, finally, the rope has grabbed the elephant and they're both looking back towards the man. Now, the little rabbit has appeared, and that's just represents a more subtle level of dullness of the mind. So I just wanted to point that out just in case anybody had any questions about that. This is just such a beautiful depiction. And then you'll see, and it goes into quite a bit of detail, but we won't do that here. But then as you can see, slowly, through a lot of effort, and it takes a lot of effort to get the mind under control when you're meditating, you'll start to see it gets more and more under control. Eventually saying goodbye to the monkey. See, the monkey departs, and then at the end, he's on top of the mind. He's got control of the mind. So I think it's just very encouraging to know, we're down here right now, that it is possible. It just takes time. Okay, so now where are we? There's Karen. Hi. All right. There's a bit of a PowerPoint presentation. I think I'll just present that. We are going to do some meditation too, like I said. So where am I now? Okay, share screen. Yeah. Okay. So I wanted to emphasize that this mindfulness, this little course on mindfulness is an introductory course through the FPMT. So it's in the tradition of Lama Tsongkhapa. And it's a little bit different emphasis than some of you may have learned mindfulness in. So this is a little bit philosophical, but a Sangha's compendium of knowledge. And a Sangha was a 4th century Indian scholar, pandit, saint, and he was born in an area, I think it's probably West India, which is now Pakistan. So what is mindfulness? In regard to a familiar object, your mind is not forgetful and operates without distraction. Characteristics of mindfulness. So they say that mindfulness is strongest when observing a familiar object, although we can be mindful of an unfamiliar one. And with mindfulness, our mind does not forget its object. The function of mindfulness is to prevent distraction. So as you saw in that diagram, you got to grab it with a rope. The rope is the mindfulness. And being mindful, we know the object with a sense of certainty. So, at the moment, this is just kind of theory and words. So just take on board and help it and match it maybe with what you've learned already. If you studied with Geshe-la or any of your other teachers, you can read more deeply about it as well. Cultivation of mindfulness, dependent on building familiarity and strong associations with this object, developed by repeatedly returning attention to its object, and to attend with clear focus to developing certainty of its object. I mean, like I said, it sounds very technical. Basically, what you're doing is becoming familiar with bringing your mind back to the object of concentration and not allowing that little monkey to run your life. Mindfulness is relevant to the development of concentration through stabilizing meditation because it allows our mind to stay engaged with this object by preventing our attention from wandering away from the object of meditation. It's like a lasso. You're tying the mind down, really. They use all kinds of things like a stake, tying a monkey down with a stake, attached to a rope. So in our Geluk tradition, mindfulness is extensively presented in the context of developing concentration. It's said that you achieve concentration on the basis of mindfulness, and that mindfulness is like a rope that actually fastens your attention to the object of meditation continuously. So mindfulness is the main technique to sustain in achieving concentration. So it's a little bit different from what some of you may have experienced before. But I go on. So to be fully aware. So what is mindfulness? So to be fully aware, to be fully mindful, is to allow whatever it is that we are noticing to come fully to mind or fully into our conscious awareness. And in the Buddhist tradition, mindfulness is presented with these 4 characteristics without forgetfulness. So with mindfulness, our attention is able to engage with its object without forgetting it or losing sight of it. So like if you're visualizing a Buddha or you're doing some analytical meditation, you all of a sudden don't start thinking about that post you saw on Facebook a couple of hours earlier. And it depends on familiarity. So the strength of our mindfulness dependent on how familiar we are with the object. So the greater the familiarity, the stronger the associations our mind has for that object, and the better our attention. So the idea is to familiarize yourselves with virtuous objects. And mindfulness helps us to prevent distraction. Therefore, it serves to keep our attention from wandering away from its object. And with certainty, when we are mindful of an object, we fully attend to it and get to know it with a sense of certainty. It's not like a half-hearted or absent-minded kind of focus. We give our full attention to our object of mindfulness, which can be a sensation in our body, or the words of a loved one, or the feeling in our heart, or the thoughts that are flowing through the mind. So mindfulness is a natural quality of the mind, and we already possess this ability to pay mindful attention to what's happening in our life. And we need to appreciate and be grateful for its presence in our life and its importance to our well-being, and learn how to nurture and strengthen this natural ability that we have and apply it to things that are virtuous, like meditation, or being aware of not harming others with our speech. So it's a very popular term in modern society. And I think it's wonderful that a lot of different groups are doing a sort of a non-religious, secular kind of mindfulness, because that, in a way, it's better than not doing anything. It's helping people to calm their minds, become less anxious. And it's found to be helpful, since a lot of our problems stem from, like we were saying earlier, mindless, maladaptive reactivity. So and usually it's as a result of some form of a need to survive. This is why it's not a bad thing. We're just getting into survival mode. So we get into habitual ways of doing and thinking. Chocolate, for example. So some people cope with stressful situations by thinking about the future and planning ahead. And, when it becomes compulsive and persistent, we find it hard to stop, even when planning and thinking are no longer effective. So mindfulness can help us to rechannel our attention to what is relevant and decouple our attention from habitual reactions. So we are becoming present in our life. We're not getting swept away by our habits. Unknown problem. Sorry. Put myself on. I'm going to do a meditation now. And this is a meditation of the body through physical touch. So just excuse me while I put myself on Do Not Disturb. Here we are. Okay. So let's just settle into our meditation posture. And we're going to, in this meditation, we're going to place our hands on different parts of the body in a slow and mindful way, and guide our attention back to our own body to sense just very simple sensations. So we need to really slow down with this, stay present with each part of the body as we're touching, and just allow for each one. We'll just do a few breaths and just feel the sensation of our hands, either on our knees or our head or whatever, and I'll guide you. So really try and fully attend to the sensations in the body, and allow the body to receive and respond to the attention you're giving it. And so highlight the need in your mind to return our attention to the body, to build familiarity and strengthen a mindful connection to it. So it sounds ridiculously simple, but let's just try it, shall we? Okay. But before, I just want to settle us into our meditation posture. So if you are sitting either at a desk, on a couch, with your feet flat on the floor, have them in a parallel position. You can start out with your hands in your lap or on your thighs. If you're in the regular cross-legged position, you can prop your knees up with a cushion, some such thing, and have your sits bones slightly raised. Actually, even if you're sitting on a couch with your legs down, your feet down, really notice the difference between your sacrum falling back or sitting on your sits bones. Sacrum is upright and then the shoulders are aligned with the hips. So imagine your spine is a string of pearls of light stretching from the base all the way up through the crown of the head and beyond. So you're lengthening your spine. And try and put some space in between your vertebrae. Allow your back to lengthen. And imagine somebody has a hold of the tips of your ears and is just pulling, just lengthening you upwards, pulling you upwards, and then gliding your head back in alignment with your shoulders. And now you can tip your head forward very slightly. So this bowling ball of a head of ours weighs about 13 pounds. It's really heavy. So when we throw our chin forward and our neck forward, we're pulling ourselves out of alignment. So just allow to hinge from the top of the spine. Tip your head forward. Not too far down, you'll just fall asleep, but just give yourself a little bit of traction at the back of the neck. And if your eyes were open, they'd be down, looking along the length of the nose. And relax the jaw. Tip of the tongue can be on the roof of the mouth. And bring your awareness to the crown of the head and relax the scalp and the forehead, the eyes, the nose, the cheeks, the back of the head, the neck, the shoulders, the back. And relax the throat, the chest, and the belly, and all of your limbs. Just take a nice deep breath. If you have spectacles, glasses, you can take them off. They might get in the way. So we're making use of the power of physical touch in this exercise to help us return mindfulness to our own body. So we're going to rest our hands on different parts of our body, one part at a time, and allow the sense of touch to draw our attention there. So try not to manipulate or massage the body with our hands. We're just going to pause, very light touch at each part for 3 to 5 breaths, maybe a bit longer actually, and use the sense of touch to awaken our awareness to the subtle sensations of the body. So this is a really easy way to introduce mindfulness and allow ourselves to get an experience of being mindfully aware and in touch directly with the body, the sensations in the body. So starting at the crown, you can gently rest one hand on the top of the crown. So you can allow, doesn't matter, you can use 1 or 2 hands, but just allow the sense of touch to draw your attention there and notice any sensations while we pause here for a few breaths. So just allow your hand to rest comfortably on the crown of your head. And try not to slump. And just breathe. And just tune into your hand, your head, and the connection between your hand and your head. And if any of you are body workers or used to doing yoga or any kind of exercise, you will be familiar with your physical body. And just notice the sensations and the energy flowing between your hand and the crown of your head. Now move your hand down to your face. And you can just place both hands very gently on your face and just notice the sensations there. And can you feel the warmth of your hands on your cheeks, on your temples? Are any of your facial muscles tight? And can you relax these muscles gently and let in a different feeling, one of softness and ease and comfort into our face? So notice what's arising also in the mind, memories or thoughts when you touch your cheeks, and feel the sensations. Now you can move your hands down to your neck. So you can back of the neck or the front of the neck. Can you sense the touch of our hands and any other sensations there? Maybe you can feel, is there the pulsing of the artery there in the neck? Can you feel that? You notice yourself swallowing. This is our throat chakra. There's a lot of energy there. So gently rest your hands on your throat, back of the neck. Now moving on to our shoulders, place your left hand on your right shoulder and rest the right hand on your left shoulder, just like you're giving yourself a hug. But don't be tempted to massage those tight trapezius muscles. And how are your shoulders feeling today? If that's not available to you, just do one side at a time. You can do that, might be easier for some people. Just rest your right hand on your left shoulder to start with, and you can just allow your other hand to rest somewhere else, on your thigh maybe. And just notice the sensation, the energy going from your hand into your shoulder. Now try the opposite. And how are your shoulders feeling today? What are you carrying? Are they tight? So now move one hand down, the left hand down to the right elbow, and just hold on to it very lightly while we notice the sensations there. And are your hands getting a little warm? Is there a difference between the sensation of your hands on the arm and the hand in the skin in the palm? Now move your left hand down to your right wrist and sense what's going on there. And then place one hand on top of the other. And just sense the warmth and the touch between each hand. So just allow your mind to be aware of the sensation of touch. Just notice if it starts to wander off. So now bring your right hand to your left shoulder. Is it different to the other shoulder? And slide your hand down to your elbow, right hand on left elbow. Just feel the sensations there. Become aware of the weight of your hand. Move down to the wrist, the left wrist. Nothing but the wrist. And then place one hand on top of the other and notice the sensations there. Now coming back to our chest, place both hands over your heart chakra. So the left hand underneath the right. And just hold your heart there. Some of you may have done this in your yoga practice. Take a nice deep breath. And what can you sense there? Is it different to what you were feeling on in your crown or in your throat or in your shoulders? Can you feel the beating of your heart and the rhythm of your breath along with other sensations? Is there warmth? Now move your hands down to your abdomen, your belly, around your belly button, and just hold both your hands there, like you're holding your belly. And just feel the sensations both at the surface and deep within our abdominal cavity. Some of you may have eaten, maybe you're hungry. There's a lot happens down here. This is where we eat. This is where we go to the bathroom. This is where we have babies. So guide your attention now to your pelvic bones. And just maybe rest your hands on those two little protrusions, our hips. And now move your hands to the top of your thighs and just let them rest comfortably there. And just notice right side, left side. Is there a difference in the sensations? And move your hands down to your knees. And by now your hands might be feeling quite warm. So just cup your kneecaps. Just rest the hands there and attend to the sensations at the knees. And you feel, are your palms pulsing? Now leaving your hands on your knees, send your attention towards your feet. And notice the sensations at the soles of the feet. So the soles of your feet are connected to the earth below, whether you're in a building or In a house, on a wooden floor or a cement floor, what's supporting you underneath there is the Mother Earth. So be aware of this connection. Notice the tops of the feet and your toes. Really notice the weight of your legs. So if it's uncomfortable for you to be resting on your knees, you can sit back and just rest your palms on your thighs. And let's just settle your mind there for a moment. Just being aware of all the sensations, just allow it all to settle down, be comfortable. Okay, just relax. And open your eyes when you're ready. Okay, so we're going to do another meditation now. Are you all up for it? We've got about 20 minutes left. You'd like to do another one? Okay. It's just called a meditation. It's a body scan. So this time you will place your attention without the physical touch on different parts of the body, again, in a fairly slow and mindful way, and to try and sense the simple sensations there. And the emphasis is kind of noticing, becoming aware of the subtle and changing sensations in each part without trying to force anything. Don't try to force the body to change or relax. Just simply acknowledge the sensations that are there and for what they are, and try not to struggle against them. And the idea is to connect the mind, your attention, with the body, and letting the body sensations to come back into your awareness. So any distractions, mind wandering and drowsiness, they're expected. So we'll just normalize that at the get-go. You probably are going to get distracted. And all we need to do is return our attention back to the body and continue the body scan. So it's like we do for some of us when we're doing bringing the mind back to the breath when we do that meditation. Here, just bringing the mind back to the sensations of the body. And we'll just build familiarity with doing that. And this is that we develop a strong mindful connection with the body. Okay. So just relax, get yourself back into your meditation posture. By connecting with our body with mindful attention, we are facilitating the body and subsequently the mind to shift and release unnecessary tensions and mental agitation. And given time, we can help the body and the mind to settle into a more calm and meditative state. You can also do this lying down if you want to do this on your own. But just rest your hands or arms on either the arms of a chair just to allow your shoulders to relax, or if it works, to have maybe a cushion on your lap. But maybe some of you have long arms and they just fit comfortably in your lap. And you're free to close your eyes or leave them open, but I would suggest you close them because we're so easily distracted by what's going on outside in front of us. So starting at the crown, notice the sensations there. So really try and bring all your attention to the crown of the head. Maybe there's a little bit of tingling, a feeling of slight pressure, warmth, or coolness, or maybe just nothing at all, and that's also fine. Maybe you can bring to mind the memory of your hand on your head. And move your hand down to your face. And just be aware of the sensations there. Are you tensing up any muscles in your face? Around the forehead, the jaw, the nose, the mouth. And can you very gently relax those muscles and let in a different feeling, one of softness and ease, comfort to our face. And so just invite your attention back to the neck and the throat. And just notice the sensations there. Can you feel the blood pumping? Is it tingling? Or maybe just nothing? And moving down to the shoulders. How are your shoulders feeling today? So if you notice any tension or uncomfortable feelings in your shoulders or anywhere else, just simply acknowledge them and try not to feel that you need to change anything immediately. Make it better, just allow it to be, just be aware. Now allow your arms, allow the energy or the mind to flow down your arms at the same time. And notice the simple sensations at our upper arms, both elbows, the lower arm, the forearm, the wrists, the back of the hand, the palms, the fingers, your little pinky finger, the ring fingers, the middle finger, the index fingers, and the thumbs. And having activated all of these sensations into our awareness, can we rest both of our arms and our hands on their physical support, wherever you're resting them, and release their weight into gravity. Now bring your awareness back to your chest, to your heart chakra. And what's there? What do you find there? Can you feel your breath, your heart? What sensations are there? And as you notice your exhale, take this opportunity to release. Just allow anything that's unhelpful, that doesn't serve you, or maybe is unwanted. Just allow it to flow away with the out-breath. Coming back to your body, allow your attention to go deeper and lower until you arrive at your abdomen, and rest your attention within your body at the level of the navel and sense the sensations there. You might feel, as you're breathing, pressure, maybe whatever it is around your waist, your clothes. And go deeper down to the base of the spine, the coccyx, and rest your attention at the tip of the tailbone within the pelvic region. And just sense the sensations there. Feel the weight of your sits bones on the surface you're sitting on. And allow your attention now to flow down both legs at the same time. Just notice the simple sensations at both hip joints, your upper thighs, your knees, the lower legs, and finally arriving at your feet. Again, check the sensations at the soles of the feet as they're in touch with whatever surface you're placed. Have you placed them on, whether it's carpet or wooden floor, tile. Connect with the earth through the soles of your feet. Notice the top of the feet and your toes. And having activated all these sensations into our awareness, rest both legs. Can you release their weight to gravity? Just rest your body in this posture and allow it to settle and be comfortable there. Rest with your breath. Each time we notice ourselves breathing, exhaling, breathing out, use it as an opportunity to deepen the sense of release. And again, releasing anything that's unhelpful and unwanted, doesn't serve you any longer. We release ourselves deeper into the here and now to be present in our meditation. Okay, everyone, just relax. So this is very relaxing meditation. So it could be something that you could do before you go to bed rather than looking at TikTok. And then I guess that, if you did the touch for long enough, you would become familiar with the sensations. And then when you're not touching yourself, then you can bring your mind back there. So this is what they were talking about earlier with familiarity. Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is really just to highlight the benefit of scanning the body, of touching the body as a way of healing ourselves, healing the body, the mind, connection. We tend to be a little bit separated here in the West, and allowing ourselves to move to kind of a normal baseline level of functioning, of rest and relax through releasing unnecessary tension, unnecessary emotional tension as well. So there is benefit to these exercises. So I would suggest, so what we've done today, and unfortunately we don't have any time left to process any of this, but can I ask you please to write down, to journal what you experienced today. If there's anything that's burning that you would like to share right now, please go ahead. We've only got like 2 minutes left. And then maybe we can share it at the beginning of our next meeting next Friday. So I'm really curious to see how everybody went with this. So I would like you to try out just this simple mindfulness of the body with either the touch or the body scan. Maybe do it in the evening, or try it in the morning, for those of you that like to do it in the morning, as a practice for returning and stabilizing your attention on the body and noticing the effects. And it could be, you could do this at nighttime while you're lying in bed, just before you go to sleep. Actually, I know there's a yoga nidra practice that scans the body. It's a way of getting you to fall asleep. And see actually, if you do that, if it benefits your sleep over the week, and bring to the next session any experiences or problems that you came across. So we started out, it's very interesting. We started out with a fairly practical look, a diagram, a discussion, a little bit more of a technical discussion about what mindfulness is, and we've ended up in the field of energy and healing. So I'm not sure how that happened, but here we are. And I'm very glad that we have landed here. So this is just a very, very basic introduction to mindfulness. And these meditations are a way of getting in touch with what mindfulness actually is. So as you know, all of you had very different experiences and understandings of what mindfulness is. But anyway, I'm talking about mindfulness in this particular tradition, which is where we are. So let's just dedicate any positive energy, any virtue that we've created doing this practice together to all sentient beings, into our meditation practice and to your own personal practice as you're moving along your spiritual path. And lots of love, everybody. I do hope you show up next week. I would love to keep working with you all. And yeah, let's just keep doing this. We have 4 sessions together. So I think we'll be able to achieve a lot. And also just to remind everyone, some of the things that were shared tonight were quite personal. So we'll just keep it within this Zoom room. That would be really great. Okay, everybody. Thank you very much. Thanks for hosting, Mary. And I might see you soon, half an hour. I'm going to run off and have some dinner now. And you're all very welcome to come to Vajrasattva if you wish, because we're doing that at 8 o'clock. Okay. Good night, everybody. Lots of love.